Hey everybody, it's Mr. Sneaky here, coming back at you with more Bible talk. Now, I just got back from watching a video about an atheist asking 10 questions Christians can't answer. And one of the questions was, God said he regretted making Saul king. And then he pointed out, doesn't this mean that God is not all-knowing? He doesn't know what's going to happen because he regret what he done? Well, I can point out that in earlier scripture, he did know what he was doing. He said he knew what he was doing because in earlier scripture, he said that Israel would betray him. And them wanting the king was just another way of betraying him. Almost everything, actually everything written in the Bible, God knows it's happening. God made it so it happens. The Bible is many things. A history book, a guidebook, even proof of God. If you read it, there's some stuff you really can't deny. I mean, he said there are more prophecies in the Bible that come true than any other holy book out there. In fact, most of the ones that are going on today are end-time prophecies. In fact, somebody made the same argument on that guy's video, and he just said bullcrap. Well, he swore, I don't, but yeah. Actually, that's what I didn't like about his video. He didn't try and... This is what I don't like about those videos. People who make those videos, they're not trying to help people. They're not trying to convince people they're doing wrong. What they're doing is just trying to make themselves feel right. And that's just it in the end. Because if you think about it, if you're really trying to help someone, why do you need to honestly ask questions you think they can't answer? Why don't you try and talk to them instead of just saying, oh look, you can't answer that, you're wrong. And this is something more I even hate, when people start calling other people deluded. This is like the brainwash thing. You have no proof that someone is deluded. You can say it no matter what you do. Nobody can prove you're wrong or right. And it's a one-sided argument when people say it. Besides, half of the time people would say those comments are usually talking about themselves. Oh man, I could have worded that a lot better. Anyway, to get back on topic, God made a plan, and in that plan, he had done everything he has. That plan is written proof that God exists. A lot of people will complain that God's not all-knowing because he didn't know it. No, that was part of the plan. He already wrote it in the Bible. People are going to say, oh, God needs to change because not enough people believe in him. No, if you actually look into God's plan, everything is falling into place for what's happening. If you look into it, there's no denying that God's plan is in motion, and that it itself is proof of God. And there are even some aspects of God's plan that even I can't understand. God is beyond my understanding, I can admit that much. Not many others can. That's what most atheists can't do. They try and make God into a reasonable aspect that they can't. And you can't make reason out of something you really don't understand. Take for instance the start of the universe. So many people try and make a reasonable way on how it started. Well, let's really look into it. How did it start? Well, I'm going to say the first one is God. God started the universe. Well, what started God? Who knows? I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I'm just messing around right now with that. Anyway, to get back on topic, if God started the universe, what started God? Oh, well, what about the Big Bang Theory? Well, what caused the Big Bang Theory? And where did the materials even come for it to do that? And you know, if you can get a cause for the Big Bang Theory, it just goes under the category, well, what caused the cause of the Big Bang Theory? In the end, there is no reasonable explanation on how the universe started. You cannot make reason out of something you really don't understand. And that's what happens to many people. They try to make reason out of something that they don't understand. I'm willing to admit I don't understand God. He is beyond my understanding. Does that make him any less real? No. That just means he's more complex than I am. It's not much different than saying I don't understand how the universe starts. The universe starting is too complex for anyone to really understand. No matter what way you look into it, this is actually a more, I'm going to say, correct way of thinking, because it gets down to the point, it pretty much will disregard any other argument like it. Now, you don't believe there are arguments out there like it? Tons of people make arguments of why they don't understand God or why He does things. It's a common argument that people try and use to disprove God. And I'm not afraid to admit it. God is beyond my understanding. Later.